Hey there, Sacramento Report Fire. This is Dr. Mackey. This session is on allergic reaction anaphylaxis, protocol number 8001. Couple points right up front. Don't forget, allergic reactions are a response to a foreign material called an antigen. That allergic response comes from our antibodies in our own bloodstream that produces chemicals. Those chemical productions are what cause the reaction and what eventually could cause anaphylaxis as well. And we're going to talk about that going forward. So first up, allergic reaction is a local response to an antigen. It can be rash, hives, edema, nasal congestion, watery eyes. But the key thing here is look for normal vital signs. When you move to anaphylaxis, this is more of a systemic response. The definition here to me is a little bit confusing. What I want you to focus on is two things. It involves the mucous membranes or airway, so you're seeing swelling in the mouth or of the tongue. And you might be hearing wheezing or stridor, but look for the derangement of the vital signs. What that means is you're going to start to see a dropping blood pressure. So remember that anaphylaxis is one of those things that we used to call distributive shock. So the vessels, the pipes begin to relax in response to everything. And so that doesn't support our blood pressure anymore, and we start to see a derangement in blood pressure. So there is a note that was added to this year about high-risk allergic reactions. Basically, the take-home message here is that people who've had anaphylaxis in the past to something, say, for example, shellfish, and they tell you they've had anaphylaxis to it, and they've had shellfish, and right now they're just presenting like an allergic reaction, watch for them to quickly degrade to anaphylaxis. So you got to watch these people a lot closer. All right, let's move to the treatment. For allergic reactions, it's just supporting oxygenation and airway adjuncts, basically, and also removing the mechanism. So if it's a bee sting, removing the stinger, things like that. All right, so let's move to treatment for anaphylaxis. For kids in the BLS realm, 5 to 30 kilograms is just going to be the pediatric auto-injector, which is 0.15 milligrams IM. And for adults or anyone over 30 kilograms, it's 0.3 milligrams, and then transport. In the ALS world, we're going to use our concentrated epinephrine, the 1 to 1,000, and we're going to do 0.3 milligrams IM, and it can be repeated up to 3 times to a maximum dose of 0.9 milligrams total. We want to establish that large bore IV because, as I discussed earlier, they're going to have problems with their blood pressure. Diphenhydramine, Benadryl is next. Remember that the epinephrine is what's going to support the vascular system. It's going to clamp down the vessels and give you tone back in the pipes. And then diphenhydramine is going to directly combat the histamine response, which is causing everything to kind of go haywire. Diphenhydramine is 50 milligrams IVIO or intramuscular IM. There is no opportunity here to give it IN or intranasal. So do not give diphenhydramine intranasal. Put them on a monitor. You can give them albuterol as needed for wheezing. If their respiratory distress continues, you can also use CPAP as well. And then there is an opportunity here to give epinephrine in a push dose form. So this is push dose epinephrine. You're going to mix it up as we've talked about, and give 0.5 to 2 mils every 2 to 5 minutes, and you're going to titrate for stridor and hypotension. You want to try to get their blood pressure above 90. And then finally, at the very end of this protocol, if things are just going completely off the rails, they're not responding to epinephrine, and they happen to be on beta blockers, you can use glucagon as well, 1 milligram IV or IO given over 1 minute. It's going to be extremely unusual we get down to the glucagon. So brief recap. Allergic reactions is a milder form. Anaphylaxis involves the mucous membranes, airway, and blood pressure derangements. Don't forget about giving epinephrine 0.3 milligrams IM quickly, and then following it up with preferably IV administered diphenhydramine. Put them on a monitor, give them albuterol, support their airway with CPAP if you need to, and then if the blood pressure is really tanking, move to push dose pressors. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see you in the next one.